watch the recordings.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Separate email will be sent to all of you. Nitesh will be sending, office will be sending how to access Thinkific.
Yes.
Just ensure that it is sent, Vinayak.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. You can continue.
Okay. Thank you, Vinayakji. Thank you, Sunilji, once again for giving me this platform to share my thoughts, some of my research work on the subject of marriage.
Welcome.
So basically, I would like to start, and the first basic part of the marital bliss or curse, the very first thing is very simple, and at the same time is very ignored. The simplest thing we can check in any of the chart where client comes to know about the marriage happiness after the marriage, how it would be like. So the very first thing you can check is the bhav, bhavesh and karak. These are the very important thing. Bhav matlab houses, bhavesh means lord of the seventh house, and karaka means shukra. So I always take shukra whether it's a male or a female. So in bhavas, when we talk about houses, I take 7th, 2nd and 12th, and when we talk about bhavesh, only the 7th lord condition as we know, and the causative planet means the karak planet for the marriage is shukra, and the obstructive planet which create a problem in the marriage are Ketu, Mars, Sun, Saturn and Rahu. So if you apply some very simple basic rules on the Rashi chart, you will come down and you will be able to know what exactly is this. The problem is whether related with Bhav, Bhavesh or Karak or all three of them in totality. So if you see any separative or obstructive planet in 1-7 axis, it means the 7th house can be spoiled. If you see any retrograde planet in 7th house or 7th house lord is retrograde, then again it shows a problem. If 7th lord is in 2nd or in 12th house, it shows a problem because it is going away from its own house, either 8th or 6th. And the very simple rule which everyone knows is 7th lord is in 6th or 8th house. It's a simple one. Another one is if 12th house has malefic planets like Rahu, Ketu, Shani, Mangal and Surya, and at the same time, if either of the planet in the 2nd house, then again we see the same problem. So either 12th or 2nd has both the houses have these planets, or either either of the one house. Next rule is if 7th lord is aspected by Rahu or conjunct with Rahu. So these are very simple rules, but there are other rules which only related with Shukra. So I'm going to tell you one very small mythological story related with Shukra Graha. And by understanding the Shukra, at least we can understand the Karaka, which is related with marriage. So in mythology, once Shukra Dev decided to meet Lord Vishnu. So he went up to Vaikunth, where all the god and goddess were sitting. So he demanded one thing. He said that in the Prithvi Lok, everybody is doing yajna and havan. So as a result of that, people are accumulating some good karmas. And those accumulated karmas or punya karmas are going to only devas or the Lord Vishnus. But the portion of the Purva Punya is not going to Rakshas or devils or Daityas who stay in Patal Lok. And everyone refused about this, and they said that it is not possible because all the Daityas are adharmi. So they do not follow the path of dharma. So what happened? There was a debate, and out of this debate, Shukra Dev started saying bad words to Lord Vishnu, and that made him very aggravated. So what he did, he Lord Vishnu cursed Shukra that there will be now two Shukra. One will be Tamsik Shukra and one will be Satvik Shukra. The Satvik Shukra will immediately, from the immediate effect, will go to Prithvi Loka and he will be born in Bhrigu family. And the Satvik Roop will be in cosmos or in Brahmand. So the curse was that he will go to Prithvi Loka, he will take a Janma again in Bhrigu Rishi family, and he will only do serving of for all the Daityas and Rakshas and devils. And he will be known as Daitya Guru Shukracharya. So the difference is, if you see any of, like if you see Shukra in any of the chart, whether it is in Libra sign or Taurus sign or in Pisces sign, it does not mean that it is benefic. Why? Because there is a curse associated with this. There is a possibility that person has a exalted Shukra or person has a Shukra in its Mool Trikona Rashi. But the person is adharmi. But the person follows the path of adharma. It means his Shukra is not benefic at all. On the face value, it will look like the Shukra is well placed in the 12th house. Some people may check Kalpurush Kundli irrespective of the fact, whatever the sign in 12th house, and they consider it is an exalted Shukra. And if people are not good at in Kalpurush Kundli, so then also if they see if the Shukra is in Pisces sign, wherever it is positioned in Kendra or Trikona, let's take one of the best houses in the Kalpurush Kundli. So suppose it is in its Mool Trikona sign, which is Libra, or whether it's take a Taurus sign, or let's take an example of exaltation sign of Pisces. There is a possibility that person has an upbringing in such a way, or maybe that environment he has been conditioned in such a way that he may not be able to follow the path of dharma, and he might end up doing some bad things. So his Shukra will be spoiled. So whenever we see the horoscope or a kundali, always check whether the Shukra is Satvik or a Tamsik. If it is Satvik, irrespective of the fact whether it is in Virgo sign, whether it's in Leo sign, or is in 6th house of Kalpurush Kundli, it will not spoil the Shukra. That is for sure. So that is the small story of Shukradev, where he had a debate with Lord Vishnu and how he got the curse. And it is a story from Srimad Bhagavat. That story you can check in the Srimad Bhagavat also. So without explaining the mythological concept of Shukra, it is not advisable for me to give you some of the rules of Shukra. So let's discuss further what are some of the placement conjunction of Shukra which can make or spoil the Jataka Kundli. So some of the things you are already aware, but I've tried to trim down, try to give the best of the best version. So Shukra can be afflicted, and it can turn out to be a malefic, or it can turn out to be a very weak planet in the chart, means the Karaka for the marriage. So first combination is Shukra is with Ketu, Shukra is with Saturn, or Shukra is with Rahu, or Shukra is with Surya. That is the first thing. Second is, if Shukra is debilitated, Shukra is in Papkartari, Shukra is combust, Shukra is retrograde, or Shukra is in 6th house. And furthermore, if you would like to check, you can check the dispositor of Venus also. Okay. And third rule is you can check if the Shukra is in the nakshatra of Rahu or is in the Ketu. And Libra sign, always check the Libra sign, because it is the most important sign which has the position in the Kalpurush Kundli is the 7th house, because everyone knows 7th house is the sign of relationship. Okay, and the third one is Rahu is in Libra sign. So our assessment will tell us that whether the Shukra is a Daitya Guru Shukracharya who has the tamasic sanctity or it is a Sattvic Shukra. Okay, so sometimes we have to take the help of spiritual realm also while judging any horoscope. So that is the point where I want to touch upon. Now I want to give you some of my case studies. So let's discuss few of the case studies. So first 4 case studies related with the cheating. So let's understand Bhav, Bhavesh and Karak. Very simple on the Rashi chart. So this is the chart of a male native who is engaged in extramarital affair, and at present his marriage is on the verge of divorce. He has 2 kids also. Now look at in the Rashi chart. In the Rashi chart, 7th Lord Moon is in 2nd house. So it is going 8th house away from his own house. Okay. 7th house is aspected by Ketu. Okay. 7th house is aspected by Saturn. Venus is debilitated. If you see, Venus is debilitated here. Venus is aspected by Rahu. What we are trying to judge here, that 7th house means Bhav is spoiled. Bhavesh, 7th house Lord is spoiled because it is going 8th house away from his own house, which is 2nd house. 3rd is Karaka, which is Shukra, which is in 9th house of Dharma and getting completely spoiled. Yes, we know it is in the sign of Virgo, so it is debilitated. But on top of that, we can clearly say it is not a Shukra, it is a Daitya Guru Shukracharya. Means it is the energy of Daitya Guru Shukracharya. It is just an energy. Okay, so let's go on another chart. It is the second chart of a male native who did arrange marriage in 2020 around November, December, and cheated his wife as he was in extramarital affair, and that ended up in a divorce. Within, I think, 3 to 4 months, the paper was filed. Let's check what is going on in the chart. It is a simple Rashi chart. Let's understand Bhav, Bhavesh and Karak. So in the rule given above, I told that if 2nd house as any malefic planet or 12th house, it will destroy 7th house. Okay. Now let's see Venus here in the 10th house, though it is in own sign Libra, right? On the face value, it looks very good, very amazing. Okay. But it is in the nakshatra of Rahu. Rahu is the Karak of cheating. And one of the important thing, Rahu is aspecting Shukra. Okay. And you can also apply the rule of Nadi also. They are 5-9 away from each other. Okay. And here, even if you would like to see, if you see Jupiter in the 6th house, it is not a life savior because it has the rulership of 12th and 3rd house. That's why it is not a life savior. So in every time, we cannot say that Jupiter Drishti is always benefic. It is, I mean, there are so many factors we can take into account. Now let's see quickly 3rd chart. This is the chart of a male native who had extramarital affair after his marriage life of almost around 7 to 8 years, which also is on the verge of divorce. And this guy is in extramarital affair. Let's check what is going on this chart. If you see 7th Lord, Budh, which is also a Badikesh in this chart. Okay. So it is going in 2nd house, going 8th house away. Okay. Sun is in the 2nd house. One again, a separative planet in the 2nd house. So we see the rules, and Ketu is also in the 12th house. See the Libra sign. one of the most important sign, Libra sign, is going into the 8th house. Okay. And though I do not factor much Gulik and Mandi, but so Gulika is there, but it's up to you, how detailed work you would like to do. So you see Saturn is aspecting the Libra. You see Ketu is aspecting Libra. Sun is aspecting. Sun is a 6th lord. Okay. So Libra sign is completely spoiled. Again, if you see from all the angles, basically Bhav, Bhavesh, Karak are getting spoiled. Let's see 4th chart in this category. Okay. So this is a chart of a female native who was involved in extramarital affair. And I think that also that happened after her marriage of almost around 6 or 7 years, tentatively. Now let's see her 7th house. 7th house is in Paap Kartri, because we have Sun and Ketu in 6th, we have Mangal in 8th. We see 7th lord Jupiter is in Paap Kartri. We see the Karaka Shukra itself is in the Paap Kartri. Rahu is in the 12th house. We have Mandi here also, but again, it's up to you if you would like to take that into account in the horoscope. So, and most important thing, most of the time you will see Saturn in the 5th house and aspecting the 3rd aspect on the 7th house. So these are the 4 chart in one of the category, which is I named as cheating. Now let's check another category, which is kind of a similar one. I named it as a troubled marriage. Okay. So this is the chart of a female native, got married in 2020. And immediately after her marriage, she has to take a divorce because of her partner extramarital affair. Now, let's check a few things quickly. Her 7th house, it is in Paap Kartri. We have a separative planet. We see this axis is spoiled because we have Mangal in the 1st, we have Surya in the 7th. We also see Rahu in 6th, Saturn is in 8th. So this house is in Paap Kartri. Now, 7th house Lord is Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter is in 4th house, which is aspected by 6th Lord Mars here. So 6th Lord Mars is aspecting 7th Lord and also on the 7th house. Okay. So here also, if you see 7th house is spoiled, 7th Lord is spoiled, even you see Ketu is also aspecting the Jupiter. So 7th house, 7th Lord, there also you see they are getting spoiled. Okay. If the dispositor of Shukra, it is Saturn, it is in 8th house. Okay. Now check the second horoscope. So this is a chart of a female native who got divorced in around 2018 or 2019. And let's see some of the rules which we have checked earlier. So we see Saturn as the malefic planet in the 2nd house, which is also a 6th lord. Okay, we see this is aspected by Rahu, means 7th lord Jupiter is in the 2nd house. We see Shukra is in the 2nd house. So house is getting spoiled because the Bhavesh is in the 2nd house, means 8th house away from its own house. So Jupiter position in the 2nd house is not that good. Shukra also, though it is in own sign, but it's sitting with Krur planet, Saturn and Sun, and furthermore, it is being aspected by Rahu. 7th house is being aspected by 8th Lord Mars. And if you see, Shukra is also combust, and we have Surya Venus conjunction. I mentioned previously that Surya and Venus, you see in any of the house, whether it is combust or not, it may spoil Shukra. Irrespective of the fact, wherever you see, Sun may spoil Shukra. Okay, so Sun Venus is there. On top of that, Venus is also combust. And let's see third chart. This is a chart of a male native who got married in January 27. He started having, a little bit dispute on a daily basis, and it is also on the verge of divorce. Let's check what is happening in the chart. In the Rashi chart, 7th Lord Venus, it is in 6th house. It is in Virgo sign. So basically, 7th Lord itself going into 6th and 12th, of course, it will spoil the 7th house. On top of that, it is in the Virgo sign. So it's icing on cake. It is completely getting spoiled. So we see Bhavesh and Karak are getting spoiled. Now you see if you see Rahu and Sun, so they are in 1-7 axis. 1-7 axis sometime can create a problem in the 7th house if there are separative planet. Okay. And 6th Lord Mercury is in, there is a Parivartana also. We see 6th Lord Mercury also in the 7th house. So basically it confirms that these two houses, but relationship, just because of this sign exchange, this sambandha is very, very getting very stronger. Okay. So I think we have not okay. So we see Sun and Ketu. Okay, Sun and Ketu are in 7th house. So again, 7th house are getting getting spoiled, and even Sun is in the Libra sign. So Sun is debilitated. Now let's check. Okay. So this is the chart of a female native who does not get along with her husband. And this is also on the verge of divorce. So basically, this is the last chart in the category of troubled marriage. So you see in the Rashi chart, 7th Lord Sun is in Rahu Ketu axis. 7th Lord Sun, it is in the Rahu Ketu axis. Okay. And Saturn is in 12th house. And that too, it's retrograde. It means it is giving the result of his previous house also. So it is there also. Its energy is there also. So Saturn definitely aspect Surya. Okay. And okay, Venus, where is Shukra? So let's see. Shukra is in 6th house. As per Kalpurush Kundli, we have the rule that if the Shukra is in 6th house, it may spoil the Karka for Shukra. And we see that in here, Shukra being in the 6th house, it is under the aspect of Saturn. 1 second. It is under the aspect of Saturn and also under the aspect of Mars. Okay, so we have covered two categories. Basically, these are relevant as per today's subject and the topic. But I want to show you two more charts. We see either we call it a delayed marriage. Let's not call it no marriage. It doesn't sound good. But this is the chart of a female native. So I think she's, if you look at the birth details, it shows 9078, around 43 plus, and she's still not married. There could be a different personal issues also, but let's see what is happening on the ground. Okay, so if you see in the Rashi chart, sixth Lord Mercury is in the seventh house with the seventh Lord Venus here. Venus is in own sign. Okay, and eighth Lord Mars is in seventh house with seventh Lord Venus, and seventh house is aspected by Saturn, which is in fifth house. You also see, basically, you see Ketu all there, you see Bulik Mandi also. And I think we have in this chart, we have covered everything. Let's see the final chart of today's topic. So this is the chart of a female native, and you look at the birth details. It is 77, and if you see the seventh Lord Jupiter, which is the Badakesh in the first house. So Badakesh means for the ascendant herself, means for the body, or for the Jataka herself, the Jupiter, the Badakesh in the first house. It is not a life savior in this case. It looks like so, though Jupiter is in the first house of the Kalpurush Kundali, where the sun is exalted, okay, in the first house. You see the Jupiter Mangal combination is looks to be good, but here Mangal also is the sixth Lord, which is aspecting on the seventh house. And if you see, Saturn is in the second house. It is with Venus. We have also discussed this. Venus is in Paap Kartari because Mangal is in the first. Sun is in third house. We have Gulik Mandi in the 12th house. Okay. And so we have Venus with 8th Lord Saturn. Okay. And 7th Lord Jupiter, which is the Badakesh, is in the Ardhana Nakshatra of Rahu, which we have also covered in the beginning. Whenever the 7th is in Rahu or Ketu Nakshatra, it might create a problem. So basically, these are some of the case studies where I've tried to invert the meaning through different, the way I have bifurcated, maybe it will give you a good idea in terms of the 4 chart cheating, 4 chart of disturbed marriage, and the 2 chart of a delayed marriage. So I focus only on Bhavesh Karak, on the Rashi chart itself, and a trick of Shukra. That's it. So Bhavesh Karak and the Shukra you can combine, and you will be able to know whether the marriage will survive, or whether there will be a happiness after marriage, or there will be some kind of a problem. So this, according to me, more than enough. So I've done research on this, and I've come out with these chart. So let me know if you have any question. I would like to conclude here my topic. So if you have any doubt, I'll try and explain.
Hi, sir. This is Manish Agrawal. Can I ask you one question?
Ji, Manish ji.
First of all, I would like to thank you for your wonderful books. Thing is that you have given few examples where Venus is afflicted, and we can infer that from your story that here Venus is playing as the Daitya Guru Shukracharya. But sir, if we follow Venus, and most of the time either Venus will be in the close conjunction of Sun, and affliction, the number of rules that you have given for the affliction, 95%, more than 95% in the horoscope, we will get to see the affliction. So thing is that then how can we generalize it? Because yes, in the horoscope where problem is there, we will find this combination. But if
Hmm.
combination is there, does it mean that marriage is not going to survive?
Okay, a good question basically. So, okay, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Okay, see this. I'm showing this chart. Let's take it. See, why I have bifurcated this. Why I have bifurcated? There is a meaning to it. See, why I have even quoted that Bhav Bhavesh Karak is very important, which we always forget and we always forget to apply. If Bhav Bhavesh is also good, even, it's good. So Karaka may not spoil the marriage. The Karaka may spoil the physical human anatomy of a Jatak. You understand my point? Suppose if Shukra is afflicted, but Bhav Bhavesh are not afflicted, there may be an issue where person may have an issue with his personal body. Because Shukra represent sperm also. Shukra represent beauty also. So Shukra may give this kind of a void in his life. Maybe he'll not get that beautiful spouse. Maybe he will not get that beautiful skin. Okay. Maybe he will have a problem in the progeny. So we have to understand from every realm. If Ketu is Venus, then the meaning is different. If Saturn is with Venus, the meaning is different. Okay. And you also ask that most of the time, 95% of the time, Sun will be in the closely attached with the Shukra. It doesn't matter actually. It doesn't matter actually. I said whenever Bhav, Bhavish, Karak, all three of them will be afflicted only, then the marriage will be spoiled. So don't worry. If only Sun is sitting with Venus, so it gave problem in the marriage life. You need to see the Bhav Bhavesh also. Sun with Venus, it is also a wonderful connection also in many ways. So, but as I said that one conjunction may give you a different thing and may create a void for a certain thing. Okay. So look at him that way only, and don't try to, my observation is that, my analysis is that don't try to understand always from the mathematical point of view. Then you will be always in trouble. Whenever you will apply too much Ganit, then there will be a problem. If you apply Karaka well and understand the placement and the sign, it is more than enough, basically. So if you, let me see if there is any other chart where I can take up, the Venus dignity. So, okay. So see here, if you see as such, Venus, doesn't look very problematic here, but Ketu effect on Venus creating a problem related with his spouse. So basically look for Bhav Bhavesh Karak and we'll give you the answer. So that is my, that's the way I do my analysis. I always check Bhav Bhavesh Karak. I do not see one thing alone. I see many things basically. Let me know if you have.
Sir, got it, sir. Thank you for your time and all the lessons with which you have explained. So highly obliged.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sir, one question, sir. Keshav, my name is Keshav, sir.
Yeah, Keshav ji.
Sir, ये जो the win.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prakash.
A question of Venus ka, what is the range you would suggest? It is 5 degree apart, 7 degree apart, or 10 degree apart.
Okay. I just said that I personally I will not hide anything from you. I don't believe in mathematics. Trust me, though we use softwares, but I personally don't believe in mathematics. I do my analysis based on spirituality, based on mythology. And if you talk about on a mathematical point, so sometime I would say to be on the safer side, there should be at least 10 degree, they should be 10 degree apart from each other. So, but I have noticed, even though they are 10 degree apart, then also I have seen problems. So that is the reason why in my first slide, second or third slide, I mentioned that wherever you see Sun Venus conjunction in any of the house, you will see problem. Irrespective of the fact whatever the degree is, if the Sun and Venus are there in any of the house, it may spoil the karaka of the marriage.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Keshav ji.